You know, when you're playing Infinity mode, you just need the infinite... You just need this gun and the infinite durability manual, and you are fucking set. Sorry, my freaking Twitch had to verify if it was okay for my chat to use the term gay ass. Sorry, I had to look at that for a second. What you talk about boy bottoms for? Or I guess they would be man bottoms. I'm not Mr. Beast, guys, I swear. Speaking of, all that shit going on with Mr. Beast is kind of nutty. Chris Tyson lore. Oh, yeah. Fucking, I watched videos talking about that shit. Mainly, it was Actman's video that pretty much caught me up on the whole situation. It happens when you're that popular. Yeah, exactly. If there's ever a time for that one quote to be relevant, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Oh my god, we got another one. I don't know what it is. It's weird. I don't know why in this game it feels like these like heavy machine guns just drop from zombies like all the fucking time. So look, is this one right here? We got another one. He has a huge lawsuit. And also, what's funny is that, like, I'm probably gonna, I mean, like, I know that it was that whole thing with Shadman. I didn't know about that either. I forgot Shadman even existed until, like, this whole thing came up. And then I love how, like, when I was watching a video on it and how, like, there was, like, the pizza tipping video. And there was just, like, a Shadman poster on the fucking wall and Mr. Beast just looks at it. It's like, I was just like, what the fuck, dude? But yeah, but when I was thinking about Shadman, it reminded me of, like, another artist that I used to follow that I wish I didn't remember existed. I'm probably not going to say names, but, I mean, it'll probably be obvious. Though, if you know what it is, don't say it in chat. Just want to make that clear. Let's just say that, like, he drew good stuff, but then he started to lean heavily into Cub. And then I just thought, okay, this doesn't feel comfortable anymore. Furry artist, yes. Being a furry myself. Yeah, I was about to say, you probably know who I'm talking about. I mean, like, he has good stuff, but for God's sakes, dude. I see that Wesker emo, and you just reminded me. Oh yeah, Capcom probably might remake Resident Evil 5, won't they? It'll be Resident Evil 4, but except with co-op. Just like how Resident Evil 5 was just Resident Evil 4 with co-op. You know, speaking of, that reminds me. When I was taking the Capcom survey that was for this game, when I was taking that survey, I noticed something very interesting. They say, are there any kind of deluxe what other series do you think you would think warrant deluxe remasters using the RE engine? And then I fucking saw Dino Crisis and Darkstalkers in the list of, like, the very few things they had selected. I'm like, what? Like, Capcom, are you implying something? Are you implying that you're actually bringing my werewolf boy back? Are you trying to imply that? You trying to bring back my werewolf boy, John Talbane? And also Dino Crisis being on there. Dude, if there was like a fucking... If there was like a deluxe remaster of Dino Crisis, that would definitely put the fucking... That would probably bring the series back. Though, to be fair, the only Dino Crisis game I played was just the first one. Which, you know... is a good stopping point from what I've heard. I need to replay Dino Crisis. It's such a good game. It also helped me get better at Resident Evil because, like, I was shit scared of zombies as a kid, but, like, Dino Crisis helped ease me into it because, okay, zombies, I think, are real. Dinosaurs are extinct, so I don't really have anything to be afraid of. That was my process behind it. Oh, and we just got another heavy machine gun. Cool. God damn, I'm just blowing everything up down here.
We will be holding the Willamette Parkview Mall's 3rd anniversary extravaganza. extravaganza. If you like parades, games, and delicious food...
Like, I'm gonna be real with you. This announcer, it does not sound... This, dude, especially in 2006, there was no intercom anywhere that was that clear. There's no intercom that's that clear, especially in 2006, when this game takes place. But yes, if they do a Dead Rising 2 remaster, just make sure that it's Chuck's Dead Rising 2 with all of the off-the-record stuff added to it. Or if they could go the extra mile. And, like, they released Dead Rising 2 Deluxe Remaster, but when you beat the game, you unlock the off-the-record playthrough, where you get to play the Frank version of Dead Rising 2. And then at any point, and then once you beat the game the first time, or something like that, if you start a new game, player 2 could choose whether they want to be Chuck or Frank on both versions. That's what I think would make it a definitive Dead Rising 2. But I do have an opinion about remasters, and this is just my opinion, but I believe remasters are not obligated to change or fix or add anything. Like, remasters are never obligated to do that, I feel. Because that's what the term remaster is for. Yeah, that's the thing. That is a remake. Remake and remaster are two completely different words, in my opinion. Like, Secret of Mana for the PlayStation 4, that's a remaster. Or Metroid Zero Mission, that's a remake. Yeah, it is. It was good. I never played Zero Mission as much as the others, though. But yes. And also, I remember one time I was in one of Eriku's, Foxy Eriku's streams, and I just said in the chat how Dead Rising 3 is my favorite out of all of the Dead Rising games. I will take that to the grave with me. Dead Rising 3 is the best one, hands down. Because you could do level 1 runs of it. That's mainly one of the reasons why I love it so much. Because, like, playing Dead Rising 3 level 1 is so much fun. No, it's a good Dead Rising game. It feels like Dead Rising to me, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is coming from the same guy who says that Mega Man X7 is a good game, so I guess my opinion isn't 100% valid. Someone who likes Mega Man X7 probably should never have an opinion. Well, it's just that X7 was like the Sonic 06 of the series, is basically what it is. Well, I could do Dead Rising 3 level 1, so I still love it. Tell people to come up with something better. Oh, and like, you can't. That's why Nintendo made Mario Maker. They were just like, you want a new Mario game, make it yourself. Jesus Christ, what am I running over? Well, yeah, that. I will say, I will blame that part on the Appeal to the West directive that Capcom was going through at the time. Because Inafune just thought that literally all the West was about was just sex and blood. That's literally what he thought that all the entire West was about, was just that. Oh, we got another one. I think this is like the 4th one that's dropped. If this is called Zami Bomb Boom Edition. Frickin'. Look at these zombies just falling on me. No, I mean, that's fair. I get where you're coming from. Seriously, though? Seriously, game? You're just gonna give me another one? Yeah, I can understand the skill tree. I ended up enjoying the skill tree because it's just like, hey, like, you can pretty much progress how you want. But in my case, I was just like, oh, that means I can choose to stay level 1 the entire game. Hell, my first playthrough of Dead Rising 3, I never increased my health. I never increased my health on my first playthrough of Dead Rising 3. Mainly because I was really hard into my 3-heart runs on Zelda games, and I'm thinking, hey, I could do a 4-block run on Dead Rising 3. I'm gonna do that. I don't regret doing it. Oh my god. Okay, guys, we got another heavy machine gun. We got another one. Zombies are dropping this thing like fucking candy. Jesus. I think that's how the saying goes. Let me eat this little snackaroony. Here we go. Yeah, no, I get you. It does have complaints. I will tell you, I know it's not a perfect game. It definitely tried to do a lot. It tried to push the series in a bigger, bolder direction. But then again, that was at the point where Capcom would kind of lose. They would kind of like lose the idea of what made their game, like made said series like so special when they make sequels. Like take Resident Evil 6 for example. They ended up losing the spirit of that, trying to cater to an audience that never existed. Oh yeah, no. Dylan, yeah, that was them pushing that envelope way too far. They did not need to do that. I will attest to that. But yeah, here's hoping that Dead Rising 2 Deluxe Remaster like adds in the off-the-record stuff to the base game. That would definitely make it a definitive DR2. It probably won't happen, but we'll see. Yeah. They tried to lean into the ridiculous more in that one, I feel. I doubt Saints Row had anything to do with that, because that kind of reminded me of how Saints Row turned out. Like, it started getting more comical and cartoony. Because, like, I realized that Dead Rising 3 was definitely different when, like, you're inside of a car and it blows up, and then you're just sent, like, flying, like, 100 feet in the air. When I saw that, I was just like, well, yep, this is where we are now. No, yeah, DR4 is bad. I can tell you from personal experience, I put 80 hours into Dead Rising 4, and I 100%ed that game. Everything. I 100%ed the entirety of Dead Rising 4. So I have every single right to say that DR4 is really, really bad. It's not really. It's not really that. The more or less what happened with Dead Rising 4, Matt McMuscles made a what happened video on it. It's very interesting. But the thing about Dead Rising 4 is that Capcom Vancouver did not want to make Dead Rising games anymore, but that was the only thing that Capcom would let them make. So, without letting Capcom know, Capcom Vancouver decided to prototype making a brand new game using the budget and stuff they had for a new Dead Rising game. But when Capcom saw it, they were just like, this is not what we want. And so they had to start from scratch. But they were not allowed to get back any of the development time they had put in for the pitch that they did try throwing to them. And not to mention, yeah, and this leads to the next thing I was about to say. The reason why Frank in DR4 is not the Frank that we really know is because Capcom started doing mass firings at Capcom Vancouver to punish them for them making their previous pitch without their consent, using the budget they had for a new Dead Rising game. And one of those people that got fired was actually the lead writer of the Dead Rising games. And that's why Frank turned out the way he did. Because it was pretty much done by a very inexperienced writer. And the recasting of TJ Rotolo for somebody else, that was actually Capcom Vancouver's decision. The reason for it is that they just wanted to have a different voice actor for Frank, because they wanted to make as many changes as they could to not make it feel any little bit closer that it was not a Dead Rising game that they were working on. And apparently recasting TJ for somebody else was not enough of a red flag for Capcom to go, no, you can't do that. So they just went ahead with it, and that's what, and everyone thought that that was okay. This is dumb. Oh yeah, the camera system was greatly expanded. I will give it that. But no, Dead Rising 4 is awful. I like to pretend it doesn't exist. It ended at 3. 3 was the best one anyway, so... Not to mention the overtime mode that they added as DLC for fucking Dead Rising 4 was fucking shit. It was absolute trash. Because do you know how many times I tried playing the overtime mode, but because of an oversight, because of a fucking oversight, I literally could not finish it because there was a soft lock during one of the main quests. So I went through the entire effort of trying to 100% the entire mode in time 3 times, and I ran into that same fucking issue every time. And then, when I finally finish it, I've learned that, oh, you have to do everything in this mode to get the good ending. Well, I'm like, okay, well then fuck you. Fuck you, game. I ain't putting up with this shit anymore. Fuck Dead Rising 4. I'm never playing this shit ever again. If there's one thing that makes me happy about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Bergamo is a playable character, and I will main him. I will try to be the best Bergamo player in the fucking world if I have to. There's another thing that I have been getting back into. It's like there's this website called Retro Achievements. And I have been trying to do retro achievements for like all these old games that I played all the time as a kid. Because there's something just so satisfying about that, even though it really doesn't mean anything. Like, literally, I had retro achievements before, but I didn't take them seriously. until GameCube. Retro achievements were added. And they had retro achievements for Mega Man X Command Mission. And so I got every single achievement in Mega Man X Command Mission. I 100%ed that game again for the third time. And then I started playing old Super Nintendo games like Toy Story. Toy Story for the Super Nintendo. I got every achievement on that one. And there were achievements for beating the game on the hardest difficulty. You know what I need to do? I need to play Spider-Man and X-Men Arcade's Revenge. I need to get revenge on that fucking game for what it did to me as a kid. Also, I don't know if I've ever told this story, but have I ever told the story where my best friend Luis, he told me about the back rooms, and the way he told me about the back rooms for the first time and I thought it was real? Have I ever told that story? Nah, fuck it. I might as well tell it anyway. Basically, he was telling me about the back rooms for the very first time. And, like, I was genuinely getting freaked out by it, by all the stuff that he was telling me about the back rooms. And then he showed me a video talking about it. And then literally, like, 15 seconds into the video, I noticed something was off about this. I'm like, wait, is this like a creepypasta? And he said like yes, and I'm like wait, so this isn't so this is fake? He's like, yes, of course it's fake. Do you think it was real? I'm like, yes, you made it sound like it was real. And apparently, like, he thought, like, he didn't conceive the idea that like that I would comprehend that when he said people fall through the floor into the back rooms. Like, oh, when he hears that, I think then he'll know that it's fake. But, like, when I heard that, I was just like, holy fucking shit, dude. And then he started pointing it out to me and calling me out like a moron. Like the moron that I am. And he was just like, no, if people were just falling through the floor, that would be all over the news. Of course it's not real. Why would you believe that? It made me feel like a fucking moron. Like, how did he told me about the back rooms and I believed it was real. How did that happen? And then they tried to get me to play a backrooms game with them, and I was just like, no, I'm not playing a backrooms game. It's not happening. And they're like, why not? Because I hate the backrooms, because I hate how Luis made me think they were fucking real. I've never forgiven him for that. It's just that, like, the way that he was telling it to me, it made it sound like it was a real thing that was actually happening. Alright. I'm probably going to go ahead and suspend the infinity mode somewhere safer. We did make a lot of progress towards getting to level 50 in just infinity mode starting from level 1. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of how far we made it. So how much playtime is that? Well, it doesn't really say, but... Day 2, 7 hours and 8 minutes in. We're level 37. So I think that's neat. So I hope you guys look forward to us finishing this little goofy-ass challenge that I made. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, go ahead and follow the channel. I really appreciate it. And if you want to, you don't have to. If you sub to the channel, you can get access. Well, following the channel gets you these emotes that you see on screen. And if you want to, you don't have to. People who sub to my channel can gain access to these little emotes that I made. But regardless, you don't have to, but the support is greatly appreciated. But I'm going to go ahead and leave now. So we'll pick this up tomorrow. And I want to thank you all for coming out, watching. It really means the world to me that people would just want to spend time just watching me be goofy. But that's going to be it for this. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time. Till then, see you then.